Li Xian activates the all-around troublemaker system and travels across the Douluo continent. Get the green fat experience card at the beginning, and after each experience, you can obtain some of green fat's abilities. Top tier defense, divine level monster power, unlimited endurance, and explosive hammer everything. Ding. Please select one option. Beginner level option. Dismantle Notting College, reward. Evolve the first soul ring into a perpetual soul ring. Intermediate option. Change Shrek Academy to the Cowherd Soul Master Academy, reward. Twin Martial Souls. Advanced option. Use 100,000 Year Soul skill to teach the Master Yu Xiaojiang a lesson, reward. 5 green fat experience cards. Tang San. Full level Haotian hammer, it was bounced away by Li Xian's finger. Xiao Wu said, even the soul beasts that have lived for 100,000 years are not as strong as Li Xian's physique. He is the strongest titled Douluo in history. Xian Renxue said, Li Xian, the martial soul hall is a dowry. Would you be willing to marry me? PS1. Invincible article plus Xuan, later shuttling through various heavens and worlds. PS2. Push book. Rebirth of the Cheat Gold Finger, one of the Fist and Superman templates of Kiba, Super Scion of Kiba, keywords of the novel. Opening Green Fat Hammer Explosive Douluo No pop-up window, Opening Green Fat Hammer Explosive Douluo Complete Collection Download, Opening Green Fat Hammer Explosive Douluo Latest Chapter Reading. Chapter 1. Green and Fat Opening. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Green and Fat Opening. Did I just die like this? Li Xian looked at his sudden death body, at the huge restaurant, and asked the heavens in silence. As a chef, he finally opened his own restaurant, and with his superb cooking skills, his business was thriving and thriving. Seeing that he was about to buy a house or a car, marry by Fume, and reach the pinnacle of his life, he suddenly died. Tragically, Li Xian could only drift his soul around the corpse, trying to blend in and continue living, but unfortunately everything was in vain. Just when he was in despair, his soul accidentally touched a jade pendant on the table, and then a white light shone. Ding! The all-around troublemaker system has been successfully launched. Ding! Detected that the host has died and started repairing the host's body. The mechanical sound echoed in his mind, and upon hearing it, Li Xian was momentarily taken aback before becoming ecstatic. He, who reads novels all year round, naturally knows the power of the system. Now that the system has been activated and can be resurrected, it's like being favored by the goddess of luck, and Li Xian is naturally happy. But before he could speak, an endless white light appeared before his eyes, and his body transformed into a cute little boy in the white light. This appearance is exactly what he looked like when he was a child. Ding! The repair is completed, please allow the host to integrate into their own body. Okay. Li Xian nodded and instinctively drifted into his body. The white light shone again, and Li Xian came to life in the white light, only becoming a little boy. Ding! Please select one option. Beginner level option. Traverse through the world of divine giants, disrupt the storyline by causing trouble, reward. Divine level perspective plus healing spell. Intermediate option. Traverse the world of Chinese martial arts, disrupt the storyline by causing trouble, reward. Divine swordsmanship plus forging. Advanced options. Travel through the world of Douluo, disrupt the plot by causing trouble, reward. 5 green fat experience cards, annihilation level, plus silver hair purple eyes. PS, the higher the world level, the higher the rewards obtained by disrupting the storyline system through troublemaking, and the more green fat experience cards will be rewarded. Looking at the sudden appearance of 3 choices, Li Xian paused slightly and clicked on the green fat experience card. Green fat experience card. After use, immediately transform into green fat and obtain super combat power of annihilation level green fat, lasting for 10 minutes. After completing the experience card, you can randomly obtain the ability to destroy the world-level green fat, such as Super Endurance, Super Defense, Super Monster Power, Super Regeneration. This one. Watching the introduction of the green fat experience card, Li Xian swallowed his saliva and his heart moved. It doesn't matter if he has silver hair and purple pupils, although it adds to his appearance, he is a bit handsome and cute when he was a child. Now the focus is on his ability to be green and chubby. If you get a few more experience cards and get 100% green fat ability, not to mention being banned from Douluo, even God can hit hard. So in the end, Li Xian still chose the third option. Ding! Successful selection, congratulations on obtaining 5 green fat experience cards, silver hair purple eyes, and additional rewards for Douluo World basic knowledge. The sound of the mechanical system rang out, and with this sound, Li Xian's brain was filled with a wealth of knowledge about the Douluo world. These overwhelming amounts of knowledge made his head feel a bit dizzy, as if he had drunk alcohol. Fortunately, after consuming some time, he successfully received this knowledge. At this moment, he realized that there was a number of 5 on his left wrist, which represented the number of green fat experience cards. Li Xian had a feeling that if he was willing, he could instantly activate the green fat experience card to gain terrifying combat power. Take a look at your appearance. Li Xian first put on his small clothes, then went to the mirror and looked at the handsome silver-haired purple pupils, hesitating for 2 seconds. Not bad. Ding! Start world teleportation, target Douluo continent world. The mechanical system sound started, and endless white light shone. Li Xian disappeared in such white light. Starry forest. The azure bull python and titan ape are running wildly in the forest, searching with hatred for their most hated enemy, which is the dark demon evil god tiger. This dark demon evil god tiger is doing evil everywhere, devouring a large number of soul beasts, making all soul beasts hated to the bone. In order to protect the starry forest, Tianqing bull python and titan ape personally took action to kill the dark demon evil god tiger. Otherwise, if this guy develops, it will definitely be a disaster in the star forest. Unfortunately, the dark demon evil god tiger is too cunning. Even if 200,000-year soul beasts strike at the same time. Still, he only drove the dark demon tiger to the outskirts of the Star Doe forest, but failed to kill this evil beast. The sky blue bull python and titan ape were very angry about this, and could only suppress their anger, striving to find the dark demon evil god tiger in this area. Daming, the dark demon evil god tiger is too slippery, I don't know where it's hiding. The titan ape searched for a long time but couldn't find it, looking somewhat dejectedly at the sky blue bull python. It must be nearby. The battle just now cost it a lot and it can't escape far. The sky blue bull python opened its mouth with a deep voice, its eyes scanning around like train lights, trying to find the dark demon and evil god tiger. Let's search for a while longer. If we can't find it, go back quickly. I don't trust Xiao Wu and her mother, said the titan ape. Okay. 200,000-year-old soul beasts have taken action again, continuing to search for the dark demon evil god tiger. They searched for a while but couldn't find it, which made them all a bit frustrated. Just as they were about to give up, they discovered something and rushed towards the outskirts of the forest. Forest periphery. Li Xian stood under the big tree, looking at the huge tiger in front of him with a headache. This tiger is huge in size, with 2 wings and a scorpion tail. It looks very fierce and not easy to provoke at first glance. Li Xian would definitely not provoke such a big tiger on his own. After all, he has just arrived at Douluo world and is not familiar with the place of life. How could he foolishly seek trouble? But he was so unlucky that he crossed over while the big tiger was sleeping and hit it directly on the head. The result can be imagined. The angry tiger bared its teeth and looked at itself with red eyes. Its bloodthirsty appearance made Li Xian instinctively clench his fist. What bad luck. I thought I would travel to a safe place, but I ended up in the most dangerous forest and smashed a big tiger. I'm really unlucky. Li Xian looked helplessly at the number 5 on his arm, feeling at ease. As long as he has one thought, he can instantly transform into green fat and smash everything. So he didn't panic, he couldn't help but joke. Big tiger, you look really ugly. Your tail is actually a scorpion's tail. Roar. The dark demon and evil god tiger roared fiercely, their eyes fixed on the purple-eyed silver-haired little ghost in front of them. As a true evil beast, as a terrifying presence that fears the entire star forest. Just today. Just as it was injured and asleep. Unexpectedly, a little ghost sat on its forehead, and its 2 feet kicked it several times on its face. For the dark demon and evil god tiger, this is definitely the biggest insult in life, no, in beast life. The angry dark demon tiger bared its teeth, its sharp and cold teeth gradually revealing, with a bloodthirsty spirit, slowly approaching the little ghost in front of it. It is prepared to make the little ghost face death in despair and be bitten to death bit by bit in pain. So it deliberately approached slowly, ready to see the fear in the other person's eyes. Ding. Please select one option. P.S. The setting has been changed, and the experience card has been changed from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, which is more rigorous. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Bomb Hammer 100,000 Year Soul Beast. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Bomb Hammer 100,000 Year Soul Beast. Ding. Please select one option. Beginner level option. Strike the dark demon evil tiger, reward. Natural space. Intermediate option. Critical hit 2 100,000 Year Soul Beasts, reward. Natural space plus underwater breathing. Advanced options. Strike 2 100,000-year-old soul beasts plus dark demon evil tiger, reward. Natural space plus underwater breathing plus beauty enhancement. P.S. Strike 3 soul beasts critically, and the system can receive a large amount of rewards. It can condense half of the green and plump experience cards. After condensing the entire card, there is a chance to trigger experience card tasks and reward experience cards. The mechanical sound suddenly rang out, and Li Xian listened to this choice and looked at the big tiger in front of him, his expression also tense. The dark demon evil god tiger is a very terrifying soul beast in Douluo, possessing a powerful ability that can cause headaches for soul beasts for 100,000 years. But now, the ugly tiger in front of me is actually a dark demon and evil god tiger, which is really a stroke of luck. With a sigh, Li Xian knew that this matter could not be resolved. He shrugged and said, I said I didn't mean to, do you believe me? Roar. The dark demon evil god tiger roared wildly upon hearing these words, and his killing intent surged in his eyes. Originally, it wanted to see the little ghost's despair and fear, and planned to play enough before killing the other person. But the other party not only had no fear, but also said such mocking words. This is obviously playing with it as a monkey, using the dark demon tiger. The angry dark demon evil god tiger was no longer prepared to play with the other party, but decided to bite them to death to vent his hatred. So, it crouched slightly, making an attacking posture, ready to bite the opponent to death. But at this moment, a thunderous vibration sounded from a distance, and in a moment, 2 huge monsters rushed out of the forest. The terrifying physique, like mountains, directly obscured the sky, making this area dim. And their appearance immediately alerted the dark demon and evil god tiger, staring at these 2 big monsters with fixed eyes, not daring to slack off. Finally found it, you can't run away from the dark demon evil god tiger. Ha! Why is there a human child here? The titan ape and the sky blue bull python looked at the dark demon evil god tiger with a murderous intent. After seeing Li Xian under the big tree, they were all very puzzled and didn't understand what the situation was. However, Just as it was puzzled, the dark demon tiger also opened its huge mouth and fiercely bit the human child. This scene stunned the titan ape and the sky blue bull python. They were about to say something when suddenly their eyes widened. Roar! The deafening roar echoed through all directions, and the terrifying aura of malice surged wildly, spreading in all directions with the power of destroying everything. Amidst the deafening roar, a muscular and terrifying green monster suddenly appeared, staring frantically at the dark demon and evil god tiger. And the big hand of this green monster effortlessly pressed down on the head of the dark demon tiger. Damn it, what's going on? The dark demon tiger felt the power of the green hand, and its eyes were filled with fear. You should know that it is a dark demon and evil god tiger, a terrifying existence that even soul beasts fear for 100,000 years. Even if two 100,000-year-old soul beasts attack it, its strength can still escape. But I didn't expect it. It was so powerful that it was held down by a large green hand, and the force almost made it lie on the ground. The most important thing is that this big monster turned out to be a human child. It witnessed with its own eyes that this green monster, from a weak child, suddenly transformed into a behemoth. This makes the dark demon and evil god tigers feel unreal and have a dreamy feeling, especially the scent emitted by this green monster, which makes its back feel cold. How could that be? Who are you? What the hell are you? The dark demon evil god tiger looked at the green monster in disbelief, enduring the hair in his heart, and asked this sentence. Of course. As an evil soul beast, it will spare no effort to kill enemies, so as soon as its words fall, the terrifying scorpion tail carries a terrifying force that sweeps everything, fiercely smashing at the green monster. Dong! A dull voice sounded, and the scorpion's tail, which could easily kill tens of thousands of soul beasts, slammed fiercely on the fierce chamber of the green monster, causing ripples to appear in the surrounding air. But such a terrifying attack fell on the green monster without any damage, not even leaving a red mark. This scene made the dark demon evil god tiger dumbfounded. It stared with disbelief. Impossible, this is impossible. How could it be without injuries? Die. Die. Dong dong dong. The scorpion's tail kept waving, with terrifying power continuously smashing the fierce chamber of the green monster, but the result remained unchanged, with no trace of red marks. Bang! A large green hand suddenly grabbed the scorpion tail of the dark demon tiger, and a violent voice sounded in the next second, "It's my turn next. What do you want to do?" Upon hearing these words, the dark demon tiger instinctively felt fear. But as soon as its words fell, I felt a whirlwind coming over. Boom 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 boom. The terrifying explosion shook all directions, and the muscular green monster gripped the scorpion's tail, wildly smashing it on the ground, like killing a dog, from left to right, and then back to left from right. Continuing to crazily smash the ground back and forth, the earth was cracked and deep pits appeared, causing the dark demon and evil god tiger to scream in agony. But the green monster showed no signs of stopping, clutching its scorpion tail and continuing to smash wildly. Boom boom boom. The giant tree topples and the rubble flies horizontally. The dark demon evil god tiger, which frightened the entire starry forest, was fiercely smashed by a green monster in the dull gaze of two 100,000-year-old soul beasts. Smashing nosebleeds wildly, protruding eyeballs, spitting out blood wildly, and blurring consciousness. Bang, bang, bang. The dark demon evil god tiger suddenly flew out and was thrown hundreds of meters away, hitting a big tree, shattering it and falling to the ground, on the brink of death. It's not that the green monster stopped hitting it, but because an accident occurred. Scorpion tail, broken. Li Xian looked at the severed tail in his hand, feeling slightly lost. Green Fat's desire for destruction is too strong, filling his mind and making him constantly want to destroy it, especially when it's his first time using the experience card. He feels a bit tempted to smash it for a while. Then, it became like this, the tail of the dark demon tiger was broken. But it doesn't matter, if it breaks, it will break. Anyway, it's just a beast, and besides, it's not dead. You can still keep it to turn around and retrieve the soul ring. So, Li Xian just glanced at the dark demon tiger that was about to be smashed to death, and then turned his head to look at the stagnant Tianqing bull python and titan ape. What do you want to do? The titan ape swallowed saliva at this scene and took a step back with some fear, then pointed to the dark demon evil tiger. We didn't provoke you, we came to kill the dark demon evil god tiger. Roar. The roaring sound rang out again, and the strong and excessive green monster rushed out like an armored vehicle, fiercely colliding with the titan ape. Don't. Boom. Boom boom boom. The loud noise appeared once again, and this time the roar became more frequent and violent, as the green monster simultaneously grabbed two soul beasts and smashed them back and forth frequently. After a moment, Li Xian stopped smashing and waited for the system's prompt while looking at two 100,000-year-old soul beasts not far away. At this moment, these two soul beasts are very miserable. The half-body of the sky blue bull python was smashed and buried underground, while the titan giant ape collapsed motionless with a swollen face and a blue nose, and its eyes were filled with sadness. A sharp broken tree pierced the buttocks of the titan ape, seemingly in the wrong place. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Rich Rewards. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Rich Rewards, ding. Congratulations on completing the advanced options, rewarding natural space plus underwater breathing plus appearance enhancement. The mechanical sound fell, and Li Xian's brain suddenly shook. Then his consciousness arrived in a new area, which was a lush natural space. The scope of the space is similar to that of a basketball court, and most of it is green grass, full of the atmosphere of nature. In the center of the natural space, there is a small pool condensed by a spring, and at this moment, clear stream water is flowing. This kind of natural space surprised Li Xian, who was eager to study this magical natural space. However, at this moment, the sound of the system began to ring again. Ding! Experience completed, gain 5% green fat super defense. Ding! Li Xian. For experience cards physical fitness. 10, for ordinary people, 10, soul. 10 martial soul. Unawakened soul power. Undetected soul ring. None ability. 5% super defense, natural space, underwater breathing. As the sound of the system fell, Li Xian felt as if his body had been sublimated, instantly becoming several times stronger. That feeling is like transforming from water to hard, eternal ice, and fundamentally improving. Even though his physique is still only 10 points, his defense has made an unimaginable leap. Li Xian felt the change and pinched his left hand with force, but with all his strength, there was no trace left, even no red mark. This kind of defense surprised Li Xian very much. He really wanted to try his defense again to see what level it had reached, and even wanted to open another experience card to gain new abilities. Just when he noticed his state, he was instantly embarrassed because he was out of clothes. Li Xian awkwardly looked around, bared his fair calves, and quickly ran to the back of the big tree, using some plant leaves to protect himself. There's no way. After using the experience card, all of his clothes were in a state of disrepair, at most barely covering up, which made Li Xian very frustrated. Fortunately, there are many trees and lush branches in this forest, so it is not difficult to cover up with some large leaves. In just a moment, he had a natural plant skirt to cover his embarrassment. It's much better now. Li Xian carefully examined and found that he had not shown any light. He nodded in satisfaction. During this process, his small feet stepped on the hard stone without any pain or even scratches. This once again confirms his strong defensive ability. Ding! Please select one option. Beginner level option. Dragon Quest, which can occasionally disrupt the plot and benefit the system. Reward. Advanced Melee Combat. Intermediate Option. Pit Tang San, which can cause continuous turbulence in the plot and benefit the system continuously. Reward. Super Melee Combat. Advanced Options. Kill Tang San, the plot crashes, and the system gains a large wave of benefits. Rewards. Super Melee Combat plus a Spatial Soul Guide plus crossing to the Green and Chubby world. Ding. After the collapse of the plot in this world, the system cannot provide energy for a long time and cannot trigger choices. It is recommended to leave this world. Looking at the option that appeared again, Li Xian frowned slightly. The Green and Chubby world is not a good one. Although it contains opportunities, it also carries endless dangers. Now he still has 4 experience cards left. Going to that world is quite dangerous, and the main thing is to cause trouble. Isn't that just seeking death? So after looking at the advanced options, Li Xian chose to give up and instead turned to the intermediate options. The reward for the basic option is too poor, and Li Xian doesn't want to choose it. And for the intermediate option, although it's to pit Tang San, even if it's a tiger's mouth pulling teeth, there's a possibility that Tang Hao might give it a beating. But with the super defense and green fat experience stuck, Li Xian didn't take it seriously and could easily turn around and beat Tang Hao. So, Li Xian chose the intermediate option. Ding. Selection completed, please come on. Ignoring the sound of the system, Li Xian pondered over the current point in time, wondering where Tang San was and where to go to trap him. Forget it, let's go see Notting City first. Li Xian made a secret decision and turned his head to look at the Titan ape lying on the ground, then coldly said, "In which direction is Notting City? Where is the city of Nonodon?" The Titan ape spoke bluntly, appearing somewhat confused. Upon hearing this, Li Xian frowned and continued, "What about the Tiando Empire? Don't tell me you don't even know about the Tiando Empire. Gigi knows it's at the other end of the forest. Go straight through the central area, and wait until you step out of the forest." The Titan ape quickly spoke up and explained, afraid of being beaten again. Even if the current green monster turned into a child, the Titan ape dared not provoke it at will. There's no way, it was hit too hard just now. Its face had several intimate contact with the ground, and its teeth bounced off several times. Now, its entire body feels as uncomfortable as if it had fallen apart. So the Titan ape quickly pointed the way, hoping that the little ghost with silver hair and purple pupils would leave quickly. It never wanted to see this terrifying little ghost again. "It's best not to lie to me, otherwise you will bear the consequences." Li Xian coldly replied, standing in front of the massive Titan ape, about 1.2 meters tall, like a little ant. But his words frightened the Titan ape and it quickly nodded. Li Xian brought the scorpion tail of the dark demon evil god tiger into the natural space. Listening to the sudden prompt sound from the system, he looked at the 3 soul beasts and decided to believe the system, walking step by step towards the distance. There were only 3 soul beasts left in place, eager to cry but without tears, lying motionless on the ground like dead dogs. Half loud. The dark demon tiger, huddled on the ground, worried about being attacked by a 100,000-year-old soul beast and unwilling to use its ultimate moves, struggled and limped away. During this process, Tianqing bull python and Titan ape only watched quietly and did not attack because it was too painful. The tail of the dark demon tiger has broken, so the time it was smashed is not long. But Tianqing bull python and Titan ape have been hit for a relatively long time, their faces are swollen without seeing it, and their bodies are almost falling apart. So they can only quietly watch each other leave, helpless. I didn't expect there to be such a terrifying green monster in this world. "Is he a human or a soul beast?" said the Titan ape with a leak. "It may be descendants of soul beasts and humans, otherwise it's impossible to change states. This guy is too strong, and he must not be easily provoked in the future. Tianqing Bull Python sighed. Yeah, I remember his appearance now. He has silver hair and purple pupils, and there are symbols on his wrist. In the future, let's pass down orders and run away as soon as we encounter this person. The Titan ape looked up at the sky in pain, and as it spoke, it could be seen that its teeth were missing, indicating that it had been smashed out. However, the dark demon evil god tiger has also suffered a lot this time. It is estimated that it will never dare to come to the Star Forest again, hahaha. That's right, its tail was broken and its face was deformed. It's strange that it dares to come, hahaha. Laughter echoed in this area, and 200,000-year-old soul beasts laughed incessantly like fools. Time slowly passed, and half an hour quickly passed. In a cave in the Star Forest. End of this chapter. Have you ever experienced the feeling of hitting a tree in Chapter 4? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Have you ever experienced the feeling of hitting a tree in Chapter 4 in a cave in the starry forest? The cold wind is blowing. The air was mixed with a damp and bloody smell, with a faint roar echoing. And at this moment, inside such a dim cave, Li Xian closed his eyes and was covered in blood, lying motionless in the pool of blood. Two strong black bear spirit beasts were surrounding him, gnawing on his arm. These two black bear soul beasts have a strong and massive physique, with shining tough fur all over their bodies, emitting a fierce aura. They have sharp fangs and large, bloody mouths, and two thick bear paws with sharp claws. As a powerful bear spirit beast, the dominant force in this small area of the peripheral forest. As long as they are willing, they can easily smash big trees and intimidate one side. But at this moment, these two black bears, resembling tanks, were constantly gnawing at Li Xian with their cold teeth, tearing at his fair arms with force. If someone sees this scene, they will surely marvel at the despicability of the soul beast and feel heartbroken for Li Xian's current situation. Because Li Xian is still an innocent child. He has fair skin, delicate arms, a cute face, and captivating silver short hair. But just like this innocent child, who was bitten by two cruel black bears at this moment, the bloody scene made countless people angry and regretful. But seeing Li Xian's pitiful appearance covered in blood, it was obvious that he had been bitten by two black bears for a while, which seemed to prove something. Time has passed for another 5 minutes. The two black bear soul beasts that were gnawing on each other finally stopped their gnawing movements. They were irritable, lifting their thick bear paws and slapping Li Xian, who was covered in blood, to the side. Then with a loud roar, he began to nibble on the corpse of a small deer that Li Xian had just suppressed. Hey! Why don't you bite? Hurry up and bite. Li Xian, who had been photographed to the side, suddenly sat up and walked back to the side of the dead deer. He lay down again, blocking the two black bears from eating. Roar! Eating was blocked, and two black bears roared angrily, issuing a warning to Li Xian. But Li Xian ignored it and blocked the little deer, preventing the two black bears from eating. This approach made the black bears angrily gnaw on Li Xian's arm again, their sharp teeth showing no mercy and tearing wildly. 3 minutes later, the two black bears stopped moving again and looked at Li Xian angrily, because no matter how they bit, they couldn't move. That feeling was like biting on tough dragon scales, not only unable to cause any damage, but also causing toothache. So, the two black bears angrily arched Li Xian to one side, then turned around the bear's head and ate the dead deer again. Wait a minute, I haven't been satisfied with the test yet. Who told you to eat deer? Li Xian walked over again to block the two black bears from eating. Seeing them ignoring him, Li Xian raised his hand and punched the two bears hard on their noses. Roar! The two black bears had sore noses and went completely crazy, roaring with endless killing intent, and once again bloodthirsty, biting Li Xian. 5 minutes later, two strong black bears grabbed the corpse of the deer and quickly ran out of the cave, running towards the distant forest without looking back. Hey, don't run away. My defense hasn't been tested yet, and besides, this cave is your home. How can you ignore your own home? Li Xian quickly ran out of the cave, covered in deer blood and relentlessly chasing after him, ready to continue testing his defense. The two black bears saw Li Xian chasing after them. They, who were originally not running fast, suddenly accelerated and fled far away, quickly disappearing into the lush forest. Hey, you two stinky bears are really not funny enough. You're so scared that you even bit my arm. You're really embarrassing the soul beast. Li Xian was indignant. In order to test his defense, he had to find many soul beasts all the way to help test it, but these guys were not interesting enough, they all ran away. And to test his defense, he got a lot of deer blood on his body, which had a bloody smell. Is it easy for him? It's not interesting to see all these soul beasts run away after all the hard work I've put in. It's really embarrassing. What kind of eternal soul beast? I see you're just two stupid pigs, not as long as the 8,000-year soul beast bit before. Li Xian was indignant. In order to test his defense, he started testing from 100-year-old soul beasts, and then tested them every 1,000 years, 3,000 years, 5,000 years, 8,000 years, and now 10,000 years. However, none of them could bite him, all of them were useless. Forget it, let's continue testing in the future. After using the green fat experience card, I feel my mind is very stuffy and I feel a bit sleepy. I was bitten by a black bear just now and almost fell asleep. Li Xian shook his head and continued walking forward. His fair little hand brushed against the beautiful vegetation and flowers in the forest, and his gaze looked into the distance with a faint gaze. Then he got lost. In fact, Li Xian wanted the Titan ape to take him out of the forest, but the system did not recommend doing so because the Titan ape is a powerful soul beast and may suddenly attack or even imprison him, which will inevitably waste an experience card. Key Titan ape and Dark Demon Evil God Tiger, these three soul beasts, Li Xian planned to make his own soul rings in the future. Killing them now was a waste, so he decided to leave on his own. Anyway, he had super defense and had confidence in his heart. Unfortunately, I still got lost. I said, is there anyone? No, is there a beast? Come out and take me. I won't let you bite me anymore, can't you? Li Xian had a headache and walked a few more laps, only to find that he was really lost. The trees in the forest are too lush, with over 10 meters of trees everywhere. The lush trees block the sunlight and sky, making it impossible to determine where they are. So Li Xian became depressed. He looked at the big tree next to him and was ready to run to the top of the tree to see which direction the sun was pointing. As soon as he thought of it, Li Xian chose a slightly smaller tree and began to climb upwards with both his small hands and feet. With his strong defense, Li Xian was not afraid of falling. Although he was not a climbing enthusiast in his past life, who didn't climb trees when he was a child. In his past life, he climbed an orange tree and ate oranges. Although the orange tree is very small, these are all small things. Li Xian climbed up the tree seriously, not to mention, relying on his childhood experience, he easily climbed 5 meters high and then fell off. Forget it, climbing trees is uncivilized behavior. What if it damages the flowers and plants? Li Xian grabbed a few flowers and continued to walk forward while playing with them, her fair feet occasionally stepping on tender sprouts of grass. Then he turned unconscious. Humph, I didn't travel in my past life because I was afraid of getting lost. Li Xian continued on with a tight face, walking for about half an hour, only to find that he had encountered more and more advanced soul beasts. Obviously, he was heading towards the central area. Ding! Reminder. Bibidong will encounter Xiaowu and her mother in the central area of the Star Forest in 1 hour, changing Xiaowu's mother's fate. The system will gain a lot of benefits and trigger new missions. Xiaowu's mother. An hour later. Li Xian looked at the sudden countdown in surprise, already realizing that he could benefit again. Whoosh! Suddenly, a spider web suddenly fell from the sky and easily trapped him. The spider web is very tough and highly sticky, making it very difficult to break free. This is because the spider web comes from a powerful soul beast, which is the eternal cave magic spider. Silky threads. The unsightly-looking burrow spider slowly walked out of the corner and looked at Li Xian, who was unable to move. It walked forward calmly. As a top species of spider, although it cannot defeat the human-faced spider in direct conflict, its spider web is much more resilient than the human-faced spider's spider web. If the distance is widened, it is not difficult to kill the human-faced magic spider with its spider web. So the dungeon demon spider walked briskly to Li Xian, carrying him, who was trapped by the spider web, and quickly headed towards the distance. It is very fast, occasionally encountering high-level soul beasts while running, and the level of encountered soul beasts is getting higher and higher, indicating that its direction of running is in the central area. After running for about 55 minutes, Li Xian, who was trapped, suddenly showed a mysterious smile. Finally, it's time to transform, little spider. Have you ever experienced the feeling of hitting a tree? If it's interesting, remember to vote. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. No spider-like scenes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. No spider-like scenes roar. The bloodthirsty roar echoed through all directions, mixed with an oppressive atmosphere, constantly spreading recklessly. With this terrifying roar, waves of air surged in the area, and many dead tree leaves rolled around. A terrifying green monster, rapidly forming at a visible speed with a terrifying aura like a ferocious beast, gazes down at the eternal burrow spider from above. The green monster's eyes fell on the burrow spider like knives, frightening it to quickly turn around and flee towards the distance. But just as it was running away, a muscular green hand suddenly grabbed the burrow spider, and in its frightened struggle, it grabbed its body and ran towards the distant tree. Bang bang bang. A continuous collision sound sounded, and the green monster ran rapidly while carrying the 10,000-year cave magic spider and colliding with the big tree, breaking them into two pieces. During this process, the 10,000-year cave magic spider struggled hard to escape from here. But the power of that green big hand is too terrifying. No matter how hard it struggles, it is useless, and can only keep in close contact with the big tree in the midst of intense pain. Bang 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 bang. The continuous sound of impact lingered, and the excruciating pain lingered on the body of the burrow spider, causing it to scream in pain, but there was no way for it to break free. In the end, he was smashed to pieces, bleeding profusely, and even without a spider-like appearance before being thrown out by the green monster, mainly because it was too dirty. Then the green monster charged out with big feet, like an armored vehicle, and quickly ran towards the central area. In his frenzy, he smashed many big trees and even injured many soul beasts, even some big stones were knocked out. Nothing can stop his steps. In this way, he walked wildly all the way, frightening a large number of soul beasts, causing them to dodge everywhere and shiver in fear in the corner. Li Xian ignored it and moved forward at an extremely fast speed, even transitioning from running to jumping. Green Fat's jumping ability goes without saying, it's easy to jump to the clouds with just one strong jump. Therefore, Li Xian's feet began to exert more force. Bang! The earth suddenly cracked, and the air waves spread violently in all directions, stirring up countless dust. Along with this dust, there were also large amounts of soil, broken wood, and branches and leaves. And Li Xian jumped up like a missile, effortlessly crossing tall trees and reaching high into the air, swiftly heading towards the distance. Only a pair of big footprints remained in place, deeply imprinted on the earth. The soul beasts hiding in the corner looked at the deep footprints and shattered earth, trembling one by one, secretly recording everything that happened at this moment. Boom! Li Xian fell with a loud bang, and with his terrifying jumping power, he finally arrived at the central area of the star forest. Here we are. The sound of the system finally rang out. Ding. Please select one option. Beginner level option. Scare Ghost Douluo. Reward. 1% Silver Dragon King Martial Soul. Intermediate options. Scare Ghost Douluo and Chrysanthemum Douluo. Reward. 1% Silver Dragon King Martial Soul plus Night Vision. Advanced options. Scare Ghost Douluo, Chrysanthemum Douluo, Bibidong plus Save Xiaowu's mother's life. Reward. 1% Silver Dragon King Martial Soul plus Night Vision plus Beauty Enhancement. P.S. If you choose the advanced option, the system can gain a lot of rewards and successfully condense multiple experience cards. There is a high chance of triggering experience card tasks and rewarding experience cards in the future. Looking at the troublemaking options that appeared, Li Xian finally breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, it's time. The experience card has enough time, and even after playing, they can jump and leave. So I choose the advanced option. Ding. Selection completed, please come on. Ignoring the sound of the system, Li Xian rushed towards the east without hesitation. On the other side. The central area of the starry forest. A battle is unfolding, which is actually a one-sided battle. On one side of the battle are three powerful martial soul palace warriors, Bibidong, Douluo, and Douluo, while on the other side are Xiaowu and her mother. Her mother not only has to fight against these three strong men, but also always carefully protects Xiaowu and protects her safety. So this battle was predetermined from the beginning. At this moment, Xiaowu's mother is already scarred and lacks much strength to stop these three powerful enemies. But her daughter must survive, so she is still working hard to protect the weak little dance from any harm, even if it means sacrificing herself. Xiaowu, hurry up, hurry up. Xiaowu's mother anxiously shouted, blocking in front of Xiaowu, condensing a purple shield to block the attack from the opposite side. Mom, Mom. Xiaowu watched this scene anxiously, her white face filled with pain and worry. As a daughter, how could she be willing to give up her mother, so her eyes were full of reluctance and worry. Hurry up. Xiaowu's mother shouted again, and the purple shield was on the verge of collapse, which could be broken at any moment. At that time, she could no longer protect her daughter. So she anxiously urged Xiaowu, even the blood dripping from her lips couldn't be wiped off in time, just to buy more time for Xiaowu. Humph, I want to leave. The sixth soul skill is blood-bucking spider sting. Su Mei's piercing voice came from the opposite side, which was very beautiful. Any man who heard it couldn't help but want to listen more. But for the little dancing mother and daughter, this voice is despair. Because as the sound sounded, countless purple things like spider spines began to condense and appear in the air, densely floating in the air. The sharp spider spines carry toxins, and once hit, the result can be imagined. And so thousands of spider spines had already targeted little Dance's mother below, and with Bibidong's right hand, they suddenly shot down, fiercely crashing down. Hurry up. Xiaowu's mother saw spider thorns falling from the sky and watched the terrifying rain-like attack. She panicked and shouted, helplessly urging Xiaowu. Her warm eyes were already filled with tears, and she only had one wish now, which was to let her daughter escape safely and escape this calamity. But click. With a crisp sound, the protective shield suddenly burst, and the venomous spider thorn pierced through the shield, roaring towards Xiaowu. Don't. Xiaowu's mother quickly retreated and, at the critical moment, suddenly hugged Xiaowu from behind, welcoming the cold spider thorns with her own flesh and blood. The greatness of maternal love is also fully demonstrated at this moment. But right now, just when Xiaowu's mother thought she was about to be hit by a spider thorn. Just as Douluo and Douluo watched with a sneer. Boom. A terrifying roar suddenly rang out in the center of the field, and a wild green monster landed fiercely behind Xiaowu's mother like a meteorite, looking at Bibidong and others with a wild aura. Whoosh, whoosh. Countless spider spines also descended at this moment, like a rain curtain falling on the muscular green monster, but when this easily penetrating spider thorn landed on this green monster, it felt like tickling and had no effect at all. And this scene made everyone at the scene dumbfounded. The whole crowd at the scene stared blankly at the sudden appearance of the big monster, their minds slightly confused. The contract is ready and sent out. Copy and print, sign, and find a courier. Anyway, everything is done. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Smash 2 Title Douluo. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Smash 2 Title Douluo. They never expected it at such a critical moment. Surprisingly, a green monster would jump out and block all attacks. The key is that this big monster is very powerful. Not to mention its muscular and towering body, its terrifying defensive power alone makes everyone feel uneasy. Because this spider sting is Bibidong's 6th soul skill, it is an easy terrifying attack to kill high-level soul beasts. But now, so many spider spines landed on this big monster. Surprisingly, it had no effect at all, which made everyone's eyes widen. The desperate Xiaowu and her mother also turned back in surprise to look at this tall figure. Looking at their rock-like backs, the two couldn't help but feel a strong sense of security in their hearts. In this desperate moment, in this inevitable outcome, a terrifying figure suddenly appeared to rescue them from despair. This joyful feeling of transitioning from danger to safety raised a strong sense of gratitude in their hearts, as well as a sense of security they had never experienced before. However, the people on the opposite side, Bibidong and others, are 2 title Douluo and 1 soul Douluo, who are very powerful, so Xiaowu and her daughter are also worried about this figure. They spoke up and reminded, "Be careful, they are very strong. There are 2 very powerful title Douluo, you must be careful." After the 2 of them reminded each other, they wanted to say something more, but the opposite Ju Douluo took a step forward at this moment. What kind of monster is this? Is it also a 100,000-year soul beast? But so what? Today, let's let you feel the terror of my chrysanthemum Douluo. After finishing speaking, Ju Douluo summoned his martial soul and raised it high, condensing countless golden petals. The 8th soul skill, shining brightly. With the angry voice of chrysanthemum Douluo's mother, countless golden lights shone in the sky, transforming into golden shooting stars that exploded towards the green monster. The number of golden meteors is extremely terrifying, just like a meteor shower, unable to escape at all. Watching such a scene, Xiaowu was extremely worried, and her mother was even more prepared to take action, intending to fight to the death to block these attacks. But right now, under the gaze of everyone, the green monster suddenly leaned forward and took a step forward with its left foot, making a charge. Then, his feet suddenly exerted force. Touch! The earth cracked, the waves shook, and the powerful green monster rushed out like an ancient mammoth, with an unstoppable and terrifying aura. Almost in the blink of an eye, the green monster rushed to the opposite side and fiercely collided with Bibidong and her incredible gaze. Boom! With a loud roar and surging waves, 3 formidable figures who made the whole world revere flew backwards and fiercely collided with a big tree in excruciating pain. The flowing light of the chrysanthemum Douluo was interrupted by such a collision and could no longer be unleashed. Fortunately, all 3 of them are super strong, with a trump card to protect their lives. When they were hit, they exerted their protective ability. So, although it was particularly painful from the collision, it did not cause much harm. Therefore, after Ju Douluo fell from the big tree, the angry mother sighed. "Damn monster, I will let you know what it means to be title Douluo, and let you feel my true strength." After Ju Douluo finished speaking, his martial soul appeared again, blooming with a more intense and powerful golden light. But, to his surprise, there was no sound around him, and the little dancer and daughter looked at him with surprised eyes. What's the situation? Wait, what about the green monster? Douluo was taken aback for a moment, then suddenly felt something and turned back immediately. And then you see. A terrifying figure emitting a murderous aura was looking at him coldly. When? Douluo couldn't help but feel frightened in his heart. He was about to say something when suddenly a giant green hand grabbed his ankle. Wait, what do you want to do? Boom 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 boom. The crazy smashing of the ground began. The raging green monster gripped the chrysanthemum Douluo and smashed fiercely against the earth. The earth was smashed and scattered with debris, causing it to crack and create human-shaped pits. And under such a smashing, Douluo's nose blood flowed wildly, his teeth flew horizontally, and even his eyeballs bulged a lot. By the time the smashing stopped, Douluo was almost dumbfounded and drooling like a fool. Bang! The green monster threw out the broken doll like chrysanthemum Douluo in its hand and casually said, "What a weak title, Douluo." After saying these words, the green monster looked at Douluo in the astonished eyes of everyone. Wait a minute. Douluo realized the seriousness of the matter, and his already pale face turned even whiter. However, he quickly thought of something and immediately used his soul skills to fly into the sky. After waiting in the sky and seeing the green monster without wings, he breathed a sigh of relief and then looked down at the path below. Humph, I admit you're very strong, but I can fly. Can you? No matter how strong you are, can you hit me? If you have the ability, come on. Ghost Douluo was so scared that he lost face just now. Now that the green monster couldn't reach him, he finally calmed down and took the opportunity to mock the green monster, hoping to regain face. But right now, at the moment of Douluo's mockery, the legs of the green monster arched slightly, then exploded with a loud bang, causing the earth to crack again. Two huge footprints fiercely imprinted on the earth, leaving deep pits. And the green monster that stood on the ground just now is gone, but there are cries of surprise coming from above. People looked up and saw a shocking scene that shocked everyone. At some point, the green monster had already soared into the sky, with its muscular green hands gripping Ghost Douluo's ankle. Then, amidst the dull gazes of the crowd, he fiercely smashed towards the ground. Boom! The terrifying smoke and dust shook in all directions with a loud bang, and the roaring wind even shook a large number of stones away, shooting them out like bullets in all directions. Such vibrations and explosions are enough to prove what a terrifying impact Douluo has encountered. At this moment, the weak and painful voice of Douluo came from the smoke and dust. Seventh soul skill, Ghost. Boom. The seventh soul, boom boom boom. Number, boom 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 boom. The terrifying roar continued, even more terrifying than that of chrysanthemum Douluo, causing many large trees around to fall and be affected. And the roaring Ghost Douluo had already been smashed, with more air coming out and less air coming in. When it was almost smashed, the green monster threw the Ghost Douluo fiercely. Then Douluo collided with the big tree and directly embedded it. What title, Douluo, really poor. The green monster cursed inwardly, appearing very irritable, and then turned its head to look at Bibidong, who was constantly retreating. Please wait a moment, said Bibidong, who was pale. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Bibidong Startled. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Bibidong Startled. Bibidong was really scared this time, and his face turned pale with fear. The main thing is that this green monster is really terrifying, almost instantly taking two ban Douluo. The key is that she was hit just now, which was also extremely painful. If it weren't for the many life-saving measures, she might have been very miserable. So, when she found the green monster looking at her, a strong palpitations surged in her heart. She knew that as long as the other party was willing, they could definitely smash her even more tragically. Thinking of the miserable appearance of Douluo and Douluo, Bibidong took a step back with some fear, but couldn't think of a way to save himself. Bang, bang, bang. The heavy green feet trampled on the ground, making a thumping sound. The green monster emitted a fierce aura and slowly walked towards Bibidong. Please. Please wait a moment. Bibidong walked with fair and long legs, hurriedly retreating, her steps becoming very messy. At this moment, she was like a helpless little girl, unsure of what to do. Bang! The footsteps of the green monster suddenly stopped, and in the confusion of everyone, they stopped moving forward. This move also raised hope in Bibidong's heart. Considering your life's tragic fate, I won't smash you anymore. Instead, I'll use a wooden stick to knock on you twice, said the green monster's voice in a jar. Hey! Do you know me? Upon hearing the words of the green monster, Bibidong's soft and delicate body paused slightly, and her pure and beautiful eyes showed confusion. But the green monster didn't hit her, and Bibidong breathed a sigh of relief. At the same time, I am also pondering who the green monster is, why I know my own experience, and why it appears here again. Not far away. Chrysanthemum Douluo and Ghost Douluo, who were not like adults, heard the words of the green monster and felt a slight imbalance in their hearts for some reason. They were brutally beaten, and theoretically Bibidong, as the culprit, would definitely be severely beaten. Unexpectedly, at the critical moment, the green monster said it would change to using a small wooden stick to knock twice, which is truly unfair. Unfortunately, they can only think in their hearts and dare not show it. The little dancing mother and daughter also heard the words of the green monster. They thought of Bibidong's terrifying situation and couldn't help but want to remind the green monster to be careful. After all, Bibidong is not as weak as she appeared above. She is a powerful contra, and her level of danger exceeds that of the other two. But at this moment, just as they were thinking about whether or not to speak, a loud bang came from afar. Everyone was attracted to look in the direction of the loud noise. Then they saw the green monster, lifted up a towering tree, and carried it towards Bibidong. What are you doing? Bibidong felt something was amiss and asked anxiously with his rosy little mouth. If you can't find the stick, just smash it with a big tree, said the green monster physician. Big tree smashing. Bibidong looked at the towering tree, at its tall and sturdy body, and thought of the consequences of the tree falling and hitting him. Bibidong's face turned pale with fear. Where is the agreed wooden stick for smashing? You bring a big tree over, what kind of trouble is this? The key is that if this big tree hits you, can people still live? Bibidong thought of the result of being hit by a big tree, and it was probably even more tragic for Bibidong and his companions. Therefore, Bibidong was so scared that he kept retreating, his pretty face full of panic. Ding! Complete the task, scare Ghost Douluo, Chrysanthemum Douluo, Bibidong. Reward. 1% Silver Dragon King Martial Soul plus Night Vision plus Beauty Enhancement, ding. Li Xian. 3 Experience Cards Physical Fitness. 10, for Ordinary People, 10, Soul. 10 Martial Soul. 1% Silver Dragon King Martial Soul Soul Power. Undetected Soul Ring. None Ability. 5% Super Defense, Natural Space, Underwater Breathing, Night Vision. The mechanical system sound also caused a slight pause in Li Xian's movements. Then without hesitation, he threw away the big tree and prepared to leave the star forest. Because the time for the experience card is approaching, he is about to receive the reward after completing the experience. But before leaving, he has one more thing to do, which is boom. Li Xian's body suddenly rushed towards Bibidong, like a speeding armored vehicle, and suddenly grabbed her wrist. Wait, wait. Bibidong saw this scene and thought that she might be smashed next. She was really scared, and her stunning face was filled with panic. But just when she thought she was going to be smashed to the ground, just when she thought she was dead, The green monster surprisingly took off the ring from her hand, and then the green monster took the ring and rushed towards the distance without hesitation. We need to be saved. Bibidong saw the green monster leave, her whole body limping on the ground, her fair long legs kneeling motionless. Even the little dancing mother and daughter secretly left, and Bibidong didn't pay attention to her. It's not that she doesn't want to pay attention for a while, but she dares not. If she takes another action, in case she angers the green monster and comes back to beat her up, it's really over. So Bibidong gave up hunting and prepared to leave here quickly, never to come to this starry forest again. It's really too scary here, it's terrifying. Pope, are you okay? Chrysanthemum Douluo walked over with a limp and quickly asked. I'm fine, go pull Ghost Douluo out of the tree, Bibidong said. Her voice returned to its usual calm and charming demeanor, but the tightly clenched little hand proved that she was still very restless. Yes, under the Pope's crown. Chrysanthemum Douluo quickly bowed and bowed before limping to the nearby tree. Looking at the gruesome Ghost Douluo in the big tree, Ju Douluo suddenly felt a little relieved. Because he was not so miserable after being smashed, much better than Ghost Douluo, a hint of happiness couldn't help but surge in his heart. Quick, save me, it hurts me so much, it really hurts me so much, said Gue Douluo in pain. Immediately. Chrysanthemum Douluo quickly took action, grabbed Ghost Douluo's arm, and pulled outwards vigorously. Wait, slow, it hurts so much for me. Gue Douluo took a cold breath and his painful face was cramping. Look at me, the fifth soul skill, the gathering of cold heroes. Boom. The big tree was shattered, and Gue Douluo finally got out of trouble. However, he lay on the ground and didn't dare to move for a long time. It was so painful that his face turned green. Not long after. 3 strong warriors from the Martial Soul Hall walked towards the outskirts of the Star-Do forest, while Gue Douluo and Ju Douluo were all injured and walked in a state of embarrassment behind them. But Bibidong walked calmly ahead, his fair and soft long legs still steady, his posture still elegant and moving, and his whole body seemed unattainable, making him look up to. But on her beautiful and stunning face, there was an indescribable hint of frightened paleness, even a hint of panic in her eyes as she looked towards the surrounding forest. I'm afraid that a big green monster will suddenly appear in the nearby forest and hit her. On the other side. Starry forest, starry lake. Xiaowu and her mother, who had been battered with wounds, returned here, feeling a sense of joy in their hearts, and couldn't help but feel grateful for the green monster. Also at this time, Daming and Erming, with scars all over them, rushed back from afar with a fierce aura. After seeing the injured Xiaowu's mother, these 2 100,000-year-old soul beasts roared angrily. Who hurt you? Who? Surprisingly harming aunt and little dance sister, I'm going to kill those bastards. Daming and Erming spoke angrily, emitting a terrifying aura all over, preparing to crush the culprit. It's okay, we were saved by someone, Daming and Erming, what's wrong with your appearance? Erming, why is there a wooden thorn stuck in your butt? Me, thank you for your tips. The contract has arrived and the status has been changed. The contract has been officially signed, end of this chapter. Chapter 8. Heart Jam. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 9. Finally comes out. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 finally comes out, ding. Experience completed, gain 5% super defense. Ding. Li Xian. 3 experience cards physical fitness. 10, for ordinary people, 10, soul. 10 martial soul. 1% silver dragon king martial soul power. Undetected soul ring. None ability. 10% super defense, natural space, underwater breathing, night vision, is it super defense again? Unfortunately, If it were something else, it would be great. Fortunately, there are still 3 experience cards left. Do you want to continue using them? Li Xian frowned and pondered, intending to continue using the experience card, but after some thought, he still gave up. After all, he has now arrived at the outskirts of the forest, not far from leaving the Star Forest. And in the future, there might be some danger, so Li Xian had to leave some cards behind, so he thought for a moment and completed the system task for now. I hope there is the Heavenly Dou Empire outside, so that we can reach Notting City faster. Li Xian said, flipping his right hand, 2 rings appeared in his palm. These 2 rings, one from Chrysanthemum Douluo and the other from Bibidong, are both valuable spatial soul guides. There must be something good inside. Taking a deep breath, Li Xian prepared to open the ring and take a look. However, seeing the posture of the White Wolf King next to him wanting to escape, Li Xian threw 2 rings into the natural space again, preparing to see them again in the future. Then he walked up to the 2-meter-tall White Wolf King and patted its forelimbs, saying, "Squat down." Bang! The White Wolf King squatted down without hesitation. Even though the little ghost next to him seemed harmless and not as terrifying as before, he still dared not provoke him. This guy is really not human at all. Perhaps this little ghost will instantly turn into a green monster, and if it were to be hammered again, it would be too sour and satisfying. So the White Wolf King obediently lay still. Not bad. Li Xian nodded and grabbed the resilient hair of the White Wolf King, slowly climbing onto his back. After settling down, Li Xian patted the White Wolf King's head with his fair little hand and said, "Let's go, leave the starry forest and search for areas where human activities are taking place." Ow! The White Wolf King let out a howl and began to run with 4 thick claws. In the forest where plants are constantly growing, they run at lightning speed like walking on flat ground towards the outskirts of the forest. It is originally a wolf-like soul beast that is good at running, and coupled with its wind attribute, its movement speed is naturally unknown. Just sitting on the back of the White Wolf King, Li Xian was overwhelmed by drowsiness. The effect of the green fat experience card is too strong. After using it once, he feels his head is stuffy and he wants to rest and sleep. Later on, I used it again and my head naturally became more uncomfortable, so I dozed off all the time. So Li Xian lay on the back of the White Wolf King in a daze, and gradually fell asleep in the wind and lightning. As time passed, the White Wolf King kept running, obediently following orders. It ran through large forest areas, crossed various obstacles, and finally walked out of the starry forest, reaching beyond the forest and also seeing areas of human activity. But it did not receive the command to stop, and dared not stop at all. It could only continue to run wildly, aimlessly and rapidly forward. It ran and ran for a long, long time, even crossing countless areas and climbing countless peaks. In short, the White Wolf King also got lost and didn't know where he had come from. After running for a day and a night, the hungry White Wolf King arrived near another forest on a sunny morning and looked at it strangely. With deep doubt, the White Wolf King walked towards a road and suddenly realized that the little ghost behind him was sleeping soundly. In an instant, the White Wolf King froze and then fell silent. Half loud. The White Wolf King carefully lowered Li Xian from behind. When the little ghost didn't wake up, the White Wolf King finally breathed a sigh of relief. Then it turned its wolf head and rushed towards the distance without hesitation. It decided to leave this little ghost forever and never approach this seemingly harmless little ghost again. Time slowly passed, and Li Xian, who had been abandoned, lay quietly sleeping on the roadside. That cute little face feels super cute even when sleeping. After all, he has received 2 improvements in appearance, and his already handsome appearance has already transformed into a super handsome and cute state. Unfortunately, at this moment he can only sleep alone on the roadside, with no one interested. Da-da-da. A carriage slowly drove over from a distance, and the driver was slightly taken aback when he saw Li Xian, then quickly turned around. The guest had an accident, and there was a boy lying on the roadside ahead. Boy. A puzzled voice came from inside the carriage, and soon 3 people walked down. These 3 people are 2 teenagers and 1 girl. The young man leading the way, with a robust figure, bare-chested, and high curled hair at both ends, looks like a wolf with full temperament. After getting off the car, he first said, "Jiangzhu, Jingling, wait here for a while, I'll go take a look." "Let's go with you. There's a strange boy in this wilderness," suggested the red-haired Jiangzhu after thinking for a moment. "Yeah, Huang Yuan, although you have a strong physique, my Jingling is faster than you." "Let's go together," Jingling patted her chest and said. "Okay, let's go together." The 3 of them came to the roadside in confusion, and were very surprised when they found Li Xian sleeping on the roadside. Unexpectedly fell asleep, strange thing, where are his parents? Huang Yuan asked in confusion. "It's really strange. I'll check if he has any injuries, maybe he was abandoned." Jiangzhu was careful and worried that the boy might not be feeling well, so she came to Li Xian's side and gently helped him up. "Ha! What a handsome boy, so cute." After seeing Li Xian's face clearly, Jiangzhu's beautiful eyes lit up slightly, and then she looked at Li Xian carefully with surprise. It was really the first time she had seen such a handsome person. "Cut, just 1 child, Jiangzhu. You don't have to deal with 1 child even if you're a flower addict." Huang Yuan couldn't help but complain roast. After he saw Li Xian's appearance clearly, he couldn't help being stunned. He was really handsome, which made him jealous. "I'm not a flower lover, and besides, I'm just a few years older than him," Jiangzhu replied, unable to help but open her beautiful eyes and look at Li Xian again. Such a handsome boy is definitely a handsome guy when he grows up, which makes Jiangzhu, who has the attribute of being a flower lover, unable to help but watch carefully. Okay, is he okay? Why is he sleeping here?" Huang Yuan asked. "He's not injured, but I don't know why he's sleeping here. The wilderness is very dangerous, and if he's attacked by a wild beast, it'll be troublesome. Let's take him away. My house is ahead, and it's just a good time to go back," Jiangzhu suggested. "Okay, anyway we're going to your house. You're the master, Jingling shrugged. "Let's go then. We'll go back and discuss how to obtain the first soul ring." "Okay." The 3 of them took Li Xian onto the carriage and headed towards Jiangzhu's home, which was Luoshan village. At the same time, the escaped White Wolf King, due to getting lost, arrived in a valley outside Luoshan village, where he led the wolf pack and prepared to expand his territory. And Luoshan village is its first target. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Something happened. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Something happened half a day later. Luoshan village, at the head's home. Li Xian, who woke up, listened to the red-haired girl in front of him and finally understood the whole story, feeling a bit depressed in his heart. Because the direction was reversed, he was getting further and further away from Notting City, which was really a bad thing. And what's going on with this red-haired girl named Jiangzhu always pinching her little face in front of her? Is there someone who bullies people like this? The key is that he has new clothes on his body. Although they are rough and numb, there is only himself and the girl named Jiangzhu in this room. Who could have changed the clothes for him? Li Xian swallowed his saliva and couldn't help but say, "Jiangzhu, did you change my clothes for me?" "Yeah, I also took a shower for you. When I found you, it was dirty and pitiful, so I naturally wanted to help you." Jiangzhu spoke softly, her soft little hands unable to resist pinching Li Xian's small face again. "You even helped me take a shower. Don't you care about gender differences?" Li Xian said in frustration. "You're just a little kid. What's wrong with my sister taking a shower for you? And you've been abandoned by your family, it's already tough enough. My sister said she needs to take care of you no matter what. Jiang Zhu continued to speak softly, then lifted her fair little hand and pinched Li Xian's small face. Li Xian patted off Jiang Zhu's small hand, feeling that he didn't need to fabricate his identity at all. Jiang Zhu had already figured it out for him. But why is there some suffocation in my heart? I always feel like I've been taken advantage of. Forget it, let's not talk about this matter. Jiang Zhu, are you currently studying at a junior soul master school? Li Xian asked, guessing. Yes, this time we're back, we're preparing to hunt the soul beast and obtain the first soul ring. Jiang Zhu nodded her little head with a hint of seriousness. In that case, then the timing is right. Li Xian secretly analyzed that he felt that Tang San was still in the Holy Soul Village at this time, because he met Xiao Wu and her mother in the Star Forest, which proved that Tang San had not even awakened his martial soul. In that case, he just needs to go directly to Holy Soul Village without taking a detour to Notting City, but it's too far away from Holy Soul Village and how to get there is a challenge. He no longer has soul beasts for transportation, and without using the experience card, it is quite difficult for him to go to Holy Soul Village. However, thinking of soul beasts as a means of transportation, Li Xian felt a bit angry because the White Wolf King not only ran in the wrong direction, but also threw himself on the roadside, which was like wanting to be beaten. So, Li Xian decided to turn around and give it a good beating, letting it know how serious the consequences of escaping would be. Li Xian's younger brother, what are your plans for the future? Why don't you follow me? How about being my younger brother? I'll take care of you. Jiang Zhu spoke with some anticipation. No, I'm planning to go to Notting City over there. There are my distant relatives over there. Li Xian thought of an excuse to refuse. Notting City, it's far away. There are wild beasts on the road, and there are also human traffickers who specialize in you. I suggest you go when you have the strength, such as when you grow up. Jiang Zhu spoke to persuade, her words appearing reasonable and well-founded. But as Li Xian listened, he always felt that this lovely little sister had ulterior motives towards him. Is it beauty? Li Xian muttered to himself, realizing that Jiang Zhu was secretly looking at him. He sighed helplessly. Okay, I'll stay with you for a while. After Li Xian finished speaking, he suddenly thought of this question, which was the issue with the martial soul. Although he has a martial soul, perhaps he can still awaken one, after all, he has not yet awakened, so he wants to give it a try. Jiang Zhu, can you awaken your martial soul here? Martial Soul Awakening. There is a small martial soul hall in Luoshan City, where you can go to awaken at any time. After we obtain the soul ring, how about I take you to the martial soul hall to awaken? Jiang Zhu smiled and said. Okay, that's settled then. By the way, can you give me a copy of the cultivation method for soul power? Li Xian was eager to try his Silver Dragon King's martial soul. Sure, I'll make a copy for you, but these are all basic soul power cultivation methods. After Jiang Zhu finished speaking, she carefully took out an old small book from her clothes, and then took out a pen and paper to start writing. Wait, what kind of characters are you? Why are you crooking the buttons? Li Xian looked at Jiang Zhu's words and asked in silence. The main thing is that this character is really ugly. Some of them can't even recognize what it's written, and it's not as good as the children in 3rd or 4th grade who wrote it in their previous lives. This character is the soul character. Although my sister has only been in school for a few years, her handwriting is already pretty in the class. How could it be ugly? Jiang Zhu pouted with some dissatisfaction. Is this still pretty? Li Xian looked at the abstract words and felt a headache. What does this mean? Before his travels, he received all the basic knowledge of this world, knew the languages of various countries, and even the dialects of small places, and his writing was also easy. But the character in front of me is similar to what elementary school students in the 1st and 2nd grades wrote, with crooked buttons and even typos. The key is that this is a cultivation method, absolutely not wrong. In order to prevent himself from being deceived, Li Xian said, "I'll copy it. You can just watch from the side." "Hey! Aren't you good at writing?" "You're even younger than me," Jiang Zhu said for a moment. "You'll know later," Li Xian didn't want to explain, but directly replaced Jiang Zhu and began writing. There's no way, he can't say that after studying for so many years in his past life, calligraphy was just the most basic thing, and he also joined a calligraphy club in college. For him, writing is as simple as drinking water and eating. Even rare words in this world can be written beautifully, at least stronger than Jiang Zhu. After all, according to the age of 6, Junior Soul Master Academy can only be considered as elementary school. Even if Jiang Zhu has been in school for a few years, she can only be considered a primary school student. In addition, she needs to cultivate martial souls, fight, learn soul beast knowledge, and her handwriting is definitely not much better. Therefore, Li Xian decided to rely on himself, so he leaned down on the table, took a pen, and began to write in a rustling manner, diligently and attentively copying the soul power cultivation method. Next to it, Jiang Zhu was originally standing on the side, looking at her somewhat dissatisfied. But when Li Xian wrote the first word, Jiang Zhu was a little surprised. When she saw Li Xian writing large, neat and beautiful texts with ease and fluency, Jiang Zhu was stunned and her big eyes widened. "What beautiful handwriting, Li Xian's younger brother. How come your handwriting looks so good? Are you from a noble background?" said Jiang Zhu curiously. "Well, you can think so." Li Xian didn't want to explain, just casually perfunctory a sentence, and continued to copy the soul power cultivation method. He felt that this cultivation method was very useful, after all, with the Silver Dragon King's martial soul, even if it was only 1%, he could still cultivate soul power. So he copied very attentively. Next to it, Jiang Zhu watched carefully, and the beautiful words surprised her greatly. She couldn't help but feel curious about Li Xian's younger brother. She wanted to ask about Li Xian's past, but she didn't disturb him, instead she watched quietly. Time slowly passes by. By noon, Li Xian had successfully copied the soul power cultivation method. After copying, Jiang Zhu thanks. Li Xian smiled and expressed his gratitude. "It's okay, just teach me how to write when you have time later," Jiang Zhu replied with a smile. "No problem. At noon, I went to cook. Grandpa and his team went outside the village while you were asleep. It seemed like they said Wolf Valley was not quiet today and didn't know when to come back," Jiang Zhu said with some concern. "Dang dang dang dang." Jiang Zhu, open the door quickly. "There's an accident, come out quickly." Suddenly, there was a hurried knocking outside the door, accompanied by the voice of an elderly man. "I'm so sleepy, I'm sleeping now. I hope there's no typo. I checked it 3 times. Good night." End of this chapter.